Hey everyone, and welcome to the Sasquatch Theory podcast. In this episode, we have Crystal Shields from Missouri, and she had a Bigfoot encounter many years ago and finally wants to get it off of her chest. Crystal has had several strange encounters on her old family farm. People usually think of Bigfoot being in the most remote areas of the world, but the reality is these things can be anywhere, and that is what boggles our minds the most. It's difficult for researchers or anyone to understand this because we look at data to help us find these things, but you just never really know where they are going to be at. If you enjoy listening to Sasquatch Theory, please give this video a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to the channel. You can also support the channel by purchasing some merchandise or sharing an encounter of your own. Alright everyone, let's dive straight into our next Bigfoot encounter from the state of Missouri. Alright Crystal, welcome to Sasquatch Theory. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good to hear. I'm glad to have you as a guest on the show. Crystal, if you would, tell me a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and your Bigfoot encounters and experiences from the very beginning, please.
Okie doke. I'm from around Archie and Harrisonville area in Missouri. We had an Archie phone number and a Harrisonville address way back then. And anyhow, my brother, he had a bedroom in the back of the house on the north end. And we would go in there. Me and my brothers would go in there and sit down and watch TV sometimes. He would rent scary movies. And so we'd go in there. And anyhow, I just happened to look out the window and I just happened to see it. And it looked straight at me. He was a Bigfoot. I remember it clear as day, and I still remember it. I was only like around 10 or 11, and um, my mom believed me and stuff like that, but my brothers still are hesitant to believe me. And so I just kind of left it just in my head. And anyhow, I seen it in between the propane tank and the fence of in the back of the house, and he was walking and he had his arms swinging and he was looking directly at me and I kept looking at him, and like I said, he was walking. His arms were down below his knees. His fingers were uh and he was kind of slouched over a little bit. Uh,
Yeah.
and
What did the creature look like?
um,
Did it have a round head?
yes, and it was a little bit pointy at the top, but not that much. Like I said, I sent you a picture of that first one, and his head looked like that, and his face did, but the body looked more like the one of Patterson's film.
Yeah, that's what you sent me was a photo from the Patterson Gimlin footage and some other ones that kind of look similar to it, but it was like a lighter brown color is what you
Uh,
sent a photo of. Is that correct?
yeah, and it
Okay.
was dark when this happened, so I couldn't get a full color of what his hair was or nothing. But when I was few times when I was out riding my pony out in the pasture in the north pasture, um, there's a tree line that back, went back all the way back to the river. And as you can tell in my photos of the where it was, you could see the Grand River in the back. But anyhow, we would get flooded pretty much every year when we lived there. And we had to have our vehicles parked out, oh, about a mile on each end if we wanted to get out. We'd have to have a boat to get out. That's how bad it got. We was like in the center part. Like we had our own little island. But anyhow, it was, when I would go out riding, sometimes I would see running through real fast, and then all of a sudden I tried to see what I seen and stuff, and he wasn't there. I just seen legs, pretty much, a body running, and he was reddish brown when I seen that. But he had muscles. I could see the muscles in his legs. Like I said, just it was just, and that was happened to me like 3 times when I was riding my pony. And there'd be times I'd go back out there and in that cart and walk, tie my pony up and go through the fence and walk. And then uh, it wasn't like I was too afraid. I mean, I'm like this person that if you don't bother an animal, they ain't gonna bother you. And I don't know if he's a primate, what they say call a primate or what, but I just believe that if you don't bother them, they ain't gonna bother you. I don't care if it's a big cat, a big bear. Oh, and that's another thing I was been thinking. I know that conservation, uh, they say we ain't got black cats, but I know a lot of people around that sure has said they seen them and had uh, uh, pictures of them on their camcorders. But anyhow, back to Bigfoot. That's pretty much it on when I was a kid. Um, I didn't think of smelling. When I was a kid, I didn't think of anything like that. Oh, there was one other thing. My brother had cattle, and he happened to take them to this other pasture, and we was out checking them one day, and the I'm sorry for my expression on this, but the god awfulest scream I ever heard. I mean, it rose every hair on my back up. I was by the truck, and my brothers were out in the in the woods checking the cattle, 'cause that was pretty wooded area there. And 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 anyhow, they came back and they said they'd heard the same thing. And we went back and told Dad, and Dad said that was just a cougar. But the more I hear about Bigfoot, I just wonder if we heard him back there. Because I tell you what, I never have heard of anything like that before. And that was it, it, it was something else. It brought chills to you. um,
Would it sound like a
uh,
woman screaming, or can you
yes.
describe it? Yeah. Yeah, that's
Can I?
interesting.
Was a high pitched scream, woman yelling. Just sound like it. It it went on for a long time. But yeah, it. I tried to yell like this, I guess, and uh, I'm kind of nervous at this, but I don't know if I could do it. I'll try.
Okay.
Ah! It sounded like that.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you for sharing that with me. And what else happened after you heard that?
uh, like I said, my brothers came kind of in a run back to the truck, and we all got together and stuff and hurried up and got out of there. Uh, I don't really know. I thought maybe we heard something back there. Something walking or something like that. But like I said, I didn't really. I was young and I didn't really know what to look for, or to know like we do now. Uh, but I very much remember that, and that was something else. um, and here lately on where I'm at here, can I skip? Can I go forward to where I'm at now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Where we're at now, uh, Russell's, that's my better half, Russell. His mom, she lives about a mile down from where we are, and she said that she heard something. It was a scream down there, and first thing that came to my mind was Bigfoot, and then a few days later, Russell said that we had the window open in the bedroom, and he got the god awful smell. It smelled like a wet, musty old smell, like a wet dog. It was um coming through the window. He said it was like weird, and I just happened to go out there and stuff, and I told him, I said, "Hey, this could have been a big footprint back here." And he just kind of chuckled. But the more I looked at it, I gave you a video of that too. The more I looked at him and stuff, it could have been. I don't know. But it felt like when I put my heel and foot in him, I was barefooted and stuff, and it felt like a arch to it and stuff. It felt like, yeah, like it was a foot. And also, we have uh, the what we call the bottoms. They're like all trees, and it when it rains a lot, it gets flooded out and stuff. And it's between here and Nevada, Missouri. I live west of Nevada, um, almost to Fort. We almost to Fort Scott. Not, I'd say about 5 miles from Fort Scott, Kansas. And it's just a little town called Richards. There's hardly anybody here, and it's all grown up and stuff like that. And we have deers that come in here. I've had deers in the back. They come up into my horse's lot a lot of times and drink the water. I've seen their little prints in the mud and stuff in the dirt. And they come up and drink his water sometimes when the pond down below is uh, going dry, and they know where to get fresh water and and stuff. And we kind of feed the little deer out there in our pasture out back, because I've seen them time and time again out there. And so we got deer out here, and and we got rabbit. I've seen rabbits. Oh, and there was a sighting by a truck driver in 2012 on Highway 54 going west. And we live uh well, Highway H. You take 54 out of Deerfield, and then there's a Highway H, and then you go down it for 8 miles until you get to the Richard sign, and that's back here is where I live. And anyhow, but yeah, I mean, it's all woods and trees. And it gets flooded a lot if it rains out. It's Drywood Creek or Drywood River, I believe it's called. Uh,
Hmm.
there's a little one and there's a big one. That is around our area, plus the Marmaton. Uh, and back uh, when I seen him at the farm, that's where there was the Grand River. And I've heard that he likes to travel the river terrain, creeks and rivers, and there's a lot of them around here, and a lot of woods and stuff like that. And sometimes I think I see tree fixtures in some of the woods as we go drive by of the what they show on TV and stuff. I oh, there's tree fixtures like that, the X and stuff like that. Um, there's just a lot of things out this way. Uh, it, to me, it'd be a good habitat for him. Yeah. Uh,
Have you had
it.
any other experiences after that?
No. These experiences that I'm talking about now is just recent. This has happened just like right about a couple weeks ago, 2 to 3 weeks ago. About the smell and the screaming and stuff like that. That's about 2, 3 weeks ago, maybe 4.
Okay, and what happened?
It's like what I said, the screaming that Russell's mom heard, and the smell that Russell heard. Um, those are recent events.
Okay, so
So
things are still taking place today.
yeah, yep.
Okay, and what do you think their intentions are? What do you think they want?
I don't know. Um, I think maybe they're curious because uh, that's just. I mean, I just wonder if they're kind of curious sometimes. It might be like you said on your show, a young one, and he's just checking things out. Whereas the older ones, they stay hidden more.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. And whenever you were younger, you encountered that Sasquatch out the window by the fence and the propane tank. You said you saw him again whenever you were riding your pony.
Yeah, about three other times. Yeah.
Okay. And every time you saw him, you just saw the legs?
Uh, there was one time that I did see the whole body as he was running.
Okay. Yeah. And it looked like the same creature to you?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that is interesting. Maybe it was following you, and maybe it was attracted to the pony.
Yeah, that's true.
Have you guys ever had any cattle mutilations, any chickens go missing, anything like that?
My mom, I mean, we'd have to put the sheep up every night. We had sheep also, and we'd have to count them. There was a year that mom and dad thought it was the dogs doing it, forming a pack and getting our sheep because they would all get got in the jugular vein in their throat. And then a lot of them would, and yeah, we had like, there for a year, we had like 10 of them go like that. We did save one. We found her. Her name was Little Bo Peep. And we found her and we nursed her back to health, but it was just like something tried to take a chunk out of her neck. And we had a middle part in our barn where we would put them if they needed to kill them back. And also, yeah, matter of fact, yeah. Like I said, we would have to keep an eye on our lambs all the time. We had the little Chihuahua rat terrier mix, and her name was Brownie, and she would be out there with the sheep constantly. She would herd them. No one taught her this or anything. How she picked it up is anybody's guess, but she would herd the sheep. If she heard that was thinking there was something around, she would herd them up to the barnyard and stuff. And yeah, it was neat. She would ride on the back of the ram's back the, in the winter time and stuff to keep warm. It was a neat thing to watch. But yeah, she would help us get them in at night, and she would stay out there in the barn with them. And I thought that was neat. But um, there was some uh, cats that went missing. Uh, Sometimes there was chickens because we had chickens. Um, Mom finally got the idea to trim their wings so they wouldn't fly out of the pen. She would trim their wings, so cut them so that they wouldn't fly out. Um,
Yeah, so something was getting the farm animals.
yes.
Okay.
Um,
What do you think Bigfoot is, and are they more human or primate?
that's a good question. I don't know. I would think that they're probably like maybe a primate. But they have because they'd use chimpanzees and they've seen how smart they are and everything. I just wonder if he ain't, because the Indians have seen them back in the day and they've always been here. I just think that there's something that's around and um that mm, people are still they I think they only show themselves to certain ones, I think, because they know that maybe they ain't gonna get hurt. Because there wasn't I would when I was a kid, I would always try to help animals. I would always try to if there was a hurt bird or something, I was always try to help them out. I would always try to help out the hurt rabbits. And the wild rabbits are the hardest things for me to keep alive. I try my darndest and stuff, but the wild rabbits were the hardest thing to uh are not like the tame rabbits that we have. But uh but I would try to get I've had 7 possums that I raised up from babies. Um, and they will we turn them out, and they would all go in the barn, and every night I would see them. uh, we had a couple raccoons. They were neat. One was Rascal and one was Bandit. Uh,
Okay. So you had a lot of animals on the farm. And do you still live
yeah.
on this farm today? Excuse me.
No, no. We moved from the farm. Um,
Hmm.
my dad had it was my dad had had to declare a Title 13 on it back in the day, and so he had to leave. Um, but yeah, after we left, the barn burnt, and there it. I don't know who's got it. But it yeah, it went downhill. I don't think anybody lives it or anybody owns it anymore. I don't know who owns it. Um, but yeah, live out in the country here in Richards, Missouri now,
Okay.
and that's what. And I don't know what. But do they follow a person? A certain. I mean, because I just kind of think it's neat that if they do, if they're back again.
Yeah, very well could be. Or possibly they remember who you are.
Yeah, that'd be neat. I like that.
Yeah. So you want to see another one here in the future?
Oh, yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be interesting. You'll have to keep me updated on what else happens on the
Okay,
farm.
yeah,
Okay.
will do.
All right, Crystal. Well, I think that pretty well covers your encounters and experiences that you've had throughout your life. And I really appreciate you for taking the time to speak with me today and to explain everything.
You're quite welcome. and
Yeah, absolutely.
it's been enjoyable.
Yeah, same here. And yeah, we're done for now. And I do appreciate your time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Yes, you too.
Okay. Well, you take care of yourself, and definitely reach out if you experience anything else.
Okie dokie, will do.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye. All right, Crystal, thank you very much for sharing your Bigfoot encounters here on Sasquatch Theory, and I found them to be very interesting. I really appreciate you for rising up and talking about this openly. A lot of people have claimed to see a cryptid from the window of the house, and that's terrifying knowing these things are watching us, and you just never know. What's your theory as to why these things approach people's properties? Because if they try to remain elusive and try to avoid people, what sense would it make to approach civilization? Is there something they want from the property? Are they just curious? Or do they have a sense of purpose and a meaning behind everything they do? There is a bigger picture to all of this, and I believe one day we will truly find out what it all means, and hopefully it's a good thing, but I don't think it is. I think there's something big going on, and one day we will all find out. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to show your support, like this interview, and leave a comment down below. Until the next interview, be safe everyone out there. God bless, and take care.